So if you could talk to one god or goddess or mythological figure, which would it be and why?
Oh my God. I have to I have to be a little bit general about this. Because you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm like I'm on the fence between whether like whether or not I believe that magic exists and energy is a thing and whatever. That doesn't mean like I don't have to believe in a god or a goddess for that to be. So like I'm somewhere between an atheist and an agnostic. Like, man, I just want proof. I like what talk to a god or a goddess or a mytho. Give me one. I don't care. I want one to show up and be like, it was all like. So yes, I'm not too picky. If I'm gonna be picky, if I could talk to one god, goddess, or mythological figure, I would. Oh, now see, now I can't even pick. I don't know. You know what? Let's go with let's go with the devil. Let's be controversial. I'm Jewish. Jews don't believe in hell. It's like the third line in my new book, My Brother's Keeper, is good thing Jews don't believe in it. Yeah, by the way, that book, hell of an opener. I'm so happy about that one, but that'll be for next year when I come back and talk about that book.
Yeah. I got all the lives going. So whenever you're ready, just let me know. We'll just do a live for it. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So funny. I just got to tell you, Ben, that there is a mythological figure that. So our Birdie and I talked quite a bit about where legends and like myths come from, and that how the cultural diffusion happened. And it got me thinking, right? Like Hercules or Heracles or whatever you want to call him, it popped up in quite a few places, right? And then I thought, what if he ended up in the United States as John Henry? And you just gave me such a great quote that I'm going to use at some point in that story. It was all real. So I'm going to give you credit for that. But when you said that, I was like, oh man, that's the story it's going to go with, and it's going to have to go in there. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So I said Jews don't believe in hell. However, if I could talk to you know what, I'm going to say rather than the devil, because that's also, I'll say Lucifer, the fallen angel who theoretically is the devil, except depending on who you ask, is not necessarily the devil. It's a whole thing. Satan isn't. Yeah, Satan isn't necessarily Lucifer, I don't know. So I would talk to Lucifer, and that's because I think it would be fascinating.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I had heard this on another podcast, and they got all into like, yeah, the semantics. I was like, oh man, like I'm a history teacher. We don't have time for that in one podcast. But I think that's a really great answer. I always think about that, particularly from like the TV show, because I thought that it brought so many different perspectives, like what you're talking about, right? Is good really good? Is evil really evil? And I liked the matching, theme there, because I think about that a lot. Like the Children of Light and Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. It's like they're supposed to be the light, but they're some of the craftiest people you've ever met in any book, and but then some of them are good. So it's like it's kind of hard, right? So I think that's a really interesting theme to explore. So I think that's a great answer. I'm sorry I made you pick. I made an urban fantasy author. Everybody's gonna be up in arms now. I get it. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize, but I had to do it. I thought it would be really cool. But thank you so much for answering that question. I know it's really hard to pinpoint one. If you ask me, I'd have to get back to you. So I know it's not fair when I ask you guys, but I think that's a great answer. And you gave me such a great quote for one of my upcoming books, so I really appreciate that.